So always mind your ears, especially because we were playing another game. Let's see. Yeah, if we can read like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, I'd feel pretty good. And then we can play like 2 hours of Ghostwire. That's a great Sunday. It's an eventful Sunday. But we're reading this a little bit on a Sunday as well, just because we want to, I don't want to say finish this week, but mostly finish Higurashi of what we have like this week. Like if we could finish this arc this week, that would be huge. I don't think we will, but I'm saying if we do, wink wink, that'd be great. That'd be cool. I would take it. Right into it. Right in. The cry of the cicadas resounded through the yard. Wait, there's something. I think I have like a splinter in my finger. Where the hell did that come from? I haven't touched wood in probably like 15 years. I don't know. Where did the splinter come from in my finger? Ow. What the hell? I'm reading injured. I noticed it when I pressed down. Probably when I went to my completely 100% wooden toilet during the BRB. I don't know what's going on. Random splinter. The sun was shining brilliantly, making it the perfect day to do laundry, or just dry laundry. Though that said, cumulonimbus clouds were visible off in the mountains. It's a little warm too, so perhaps we'll get evening showers. I'll have to be careful. Phew, all done. It's Hanyu, we're with Hanyu. I quickly finished hanging our clothes on the clothesline and wiped the sweat off my brow. And then, just as I was about to get a broom to sweep the shrine grounds, I spotted a familiar face coming through the shrine gate's stone stairway. You've gotten quite good at housework, Hanyu. Good job. Ah, Shino. I smiled back at the woman who waved while walking toward me. She was Shino Kimiyoshi. Shino is the only daughter of the Kimiyoshi family, the bloodline that served as the mayors of Onikafuji village, and was now a good friend of mine. The water from the shrines, well, is as cool as ever. I wonder how it stays cold as ice even in the middle of the summer heat. Who knows? More importantly, you'll hurt your head if you drink so fast. It's alright. I'm not that weird. Ow, 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 ow. See? What did I tell you? Just girls being friends. I couldn't help but chuckle at my friend's charming actions. Shino appeared to be a graceful woman with no chinks in her armor, but seeing her holding her head while pounding on the living room floor was oddly amusing. It had been about 3 months since I got acquainted with Shino through Riku. On that day, Riku and I were to pledge our lives to each other under the cherry blossom trees, and were resolved to be married. However, at the same time, we realized there was a big problem that needed to be solved. Right. Wasn't very good at doing the bare minimum of housework I'd be required to do as Riku's wife. No, I'll be honest. To be blunt, I had almost no experience beyond helping out here and there. It was a complete amateur.
Riku?
Riku? How are my housework skills? Well... To be honest, I can't say for sure that I can say that they are not good. Which is it? You're decent when it comes to cleaning, but... You ruin clothes when doing laundry, and watching you sew is so painful I can hardly bear to watch. And your cooking is, It's true that when we gave the leftovers I'd made to a passing stray dog, passed out and foamed at the mouth. Though I used the same ingredients as Riku, everything I cooked seemed to be deadly poisonous. Why?
でもだったらなんでリクは平気なのですか？
But in that case, how are you not affected by it?
それはもちろんあなたを愛しているからです。
Why, that's because I love you, of course.
嬉しいのは確かですが、
True, love is an immunity to poison. I'll admit I'm happy to hear that, but
つまり愛がなければとても食えたものではないと？
in other words, without love, it cannot be eaten? Riku's loss for words said it all, so I didn't pry any further.
これは相当努力が必要か。
This will require substantial effort, huh? What I'd studied and honed up until now was my skills with the sword. I took pride in that and believed it to be everything. However, if I was to be Riku's wife, I needed the resolve to throw away who had been, up until now, learning a completely different skill set. And if possible, I didn't want to depend on his patronage as I had up until now. I loved Riku. I was truly happy right now. So I wanted to make every effort possible to repay him for that joy he'd given me.
もっともこの点については戦闘知識に特化した竜王国を頼るわけにもいかないし。
Though that said, I can't rely on Ryunoke for this, given that she's been specialized for battle knowledge. In fact, I tried counting on her a few times, grasping at whatever straws I could, but none of it was helpful. And so, just as I was at a loss for who and where I could learn about doing chores from,
はじめまして、君吉しのです。
it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Shino Kimiyoshi.
あ、こんにちはです。
Oh, pleased to meet you. One day, Shino came to me at Riku's prompting. I'd seen her talking to Riku at the shrine grounds a number of times before, so I remembered her well. However, it was a bit tense since it was my first time speaking to her face to face.
リクってば、どこでこんなに可愛い人を見つけてきたの？
Oh, Riku, where in the world did you find such a cute girl?
女性に興味がないような顔をして、あなたも隅に置けませんね。
For someone who acts like he's not interested in women, you sure are cunning.
いや
Oh man.
いい年にもなって、なんで縁談の話を断り続けているんだろうってみんな心配していたのよ。
Everyone was worried about why you kept turning down marriage proposals at your age, you know?
心に決めた人がいるなら、もっと早く言ってくれたらよかったのに。おう。
If you already had your heart set on someone, you should have told us sooner. Jeez.
すみません。
I'm sorry.
というわけで今更ですがご紹介させていただきました。
With that said, I know this comes rather late, but allow me to introduce you.
本当に今更ね。
Late indeed.
わかったわ。村の年長組には私がうまく言っておいてあげるから。
Alright, I'll put in a good word with the village elders.
ところで祝言の予定は？
Incidentally, when is the wedding to be?
それから
Also,
それで私に何か。
so what business do you have with me?
ごめんなさい。
Oh, my apologies.
私ったらつい。
Silly me, getting carried away like that. Shino then cleared her throat, stood up straight, and turned back to me.
話はリクからお聞きしました。
I've heard the details from Riku.
海の向こうの外国から来られて、異なる文化の場所で生活を送られるのはいろいろと大変だと思いますので、不詳を飲みながらいろいろとご助言ができればとこちらに参上した次第です。
I know it must be difficult for a foreigner from overseas to live according to another culture, so I will be visiting to assist you on whatever I can to help.
よろしくお願いしますね、羽生さん。
I hope we get along well, Hanyu-san.
はい、
Yes,
こちらこそよろしくです。
I'd like that too. I mean, I very much hope the same.
そう固くならないで。
The struggle of making friends as an adult. That's what this seems like. There's no need to be so formal.
見たところ、私とそれほど年も変わらないようですし、どうかこれからは友人と思って仲良くしてくれますか？
As you can see, we appear to be around the same age, so treat me as you would a friend, alright?
その、
Alright. After I nodded awkwardly, Shino smiled widely to ease my tension and took my hand. It was warm and soft. From what I heard, Riku had asked her to come here to teach me about housework and the way things worked around here. Naturally, there would have been problems if he told me I was a god or someone from another world, so it seemed he told her I was a foreigner. Not that it was entirely inaccurate, but I felt a little guilty when it came to my age. After all, I was much older than Shino, to say the least, of the village elders.
シノさんは女性ですからね。
Shino-san is a woman.
私では気づかないことでも
Oh boy.
あなたの力になってくれると思いますよ。
Such ancient and traditional gender role type. She's a woman. She knows how to clean things. I mean, even from the get-go, this section seems to be like, oh, she's a woman and she's going to be married, so she has to know how to do housework type thing. Tough. So I'm sure she'll be able to notice things that I couldn't and help you out.
そうそう。
Yes, he's right.
リクってあんまり気が利かないっていうか、いつも思い込みが激しいでしょ。
Riku isn't the most sensible of people, or maybe it'd be better to say he gets too carried away with his assumptions.
おまけに人の話を聞かないし。
Not only that, he never listens to others either.
あ、確かにそうです。
Yes, it's just as you say.
やっぱり。
I knew it.
いずれにしても、リクのお嫁さんなら、私にとっても妹みたいなものですから。
In any case, since you're Riku's wife, you're like a little sister to me.
どうか遠慮しないで、何でも相談してくださいね。
So please don't hesitate to ask me anything that comes to mind. Shino laughed with a cheerful expression. It would seem she was a rather broad-minded person who was very open around strangers. Apparently, she'd been Riku's friend since childhood and taken care of him like an older sister. As such, she knew his personality well. I had to admit I felt a little jealous about that.
私の知らないリクを知っている人か。
Someone who knows sides of Riku I don't, huh? Well, that said, she was already married and had 2 sons. And, although it was only a mite, I could feel Riku consciously building a wall against her for the whole conversation. I understood that I was out of consideration for me, and was a bit relieved.
よろしくお願いします、シノさん。
Look forward to receiving your help, Shino-san.
よろしく。
Yes, likewise.
私のことはどうかシノと呼んでくださいね。
By all means, please call me Shino. And so, Shino started instructing me. At first, it was all a disaster, with Shino getting exasperated with me time and time again, and occasionally receiving stern warnings from her. Damn, despite that, thanks to her boundless benevolence and willingness to teach me, even I slowly but surely managed to get good enough that I could somehow take care of housework.
洗濯もちゃんとできるようになってきたわね。
You're finally getting the laundry right, too.
最初はどうなることかと思っていたけれど、もう立派なお嫁さんよ。
I was worried at first, but you're already a splendid wife by now.
ええ、指導してくれたシノには感謝しています。
It's all thanks to your guidance, Shino.
あなたがいなければ、家事らしいことは何一つこなせなかったはずですから。
I don't think I could have done anything resembling housework without you.
最初はびっくりしたわ。
I was surprised at first.
リクが自分の花嫁さんに家事を教えてくれって頼みに来た時は、どんな武将者なのかなってね。
When Riku asked me to teach his wife how to do housework, my first thought was that you must have been quite the slouch.
まさか外国人さんとは思わなかったけれど。
I never would have expected you to be a foreigner.
すみません。
I'm sorry.
この国の文化にはまだ馴染みがなくて。
I'm still not familiar with this country's culture and...
謝らないでいいのよ。
Please don't apologize.
知らなくて当たり前なんだし、慣れないところに嫁いでくるのがどれだけ大変なことか、私は分かっているつもりだから。
It's only natural you don't know, and I like to think I understand how it feels to marry in an unfamiliar place.
しっかり覚えるまで何でも私に聞いてね。
So ask me anything you'd like until you get it all down, okay?
でも、なんだかあなたにはご迷惑をかけてしまっているようで。
But it feels like I'm imposing on you.
いいのよ。
It's alright.
だって私たち
After
友
all...
達でしょ。
After all, we're friends, right?
ええ、
Yes.
あなたは私の大切な友達です。
You are my dear... friend. I answered from the bottom of my heart. I can't begin to process just how much of a godsend Shino has been for me. Truth be told, there's a reason why we became fast friends in such a short time. A little while ago, Shino accidentally discovered my horns. It happened about a month after she started instructing me in the ways of housework. Shino appeared to trip on a bump in the ground, and I saved her from falling. At that moment, she accidentally touched my head, knocking the hood covering my horns off. I turned my head away from Shino's wide eyes. I thought it was all over. That even though I'd finally gotten along with someone other than Riku, my carelessness had destroyed it all. That dejection and despair welled up inside me, leading me to hang my head. However, Shino reached out for my horns without any sort of discomfort, and spoke with a smile.
かわいいねこれ。
These sure are cute. Huh?
ありがとうね羽生。
Thank you, Hanyu.
私ってそそっかしいから。はい、これ。
Should have watched my step. Here you go. Shino said that, picked my hood off the ground as if it were completely natural, and put it on my head. She never brought up my horns after that, and her attitude didn't change a single bit.
別に外国人だからね。
Not at all. She's a foreigner after all.
例えば瞳の色が違うように外見が違ってい
She
ても
knows a real
おか
one.
しくないでしょ。
For example, it's just like having different colored eyes, so even if she looks different, it's not strange, right? The next day, when Riku secretly questioned Shino after I told him what happened, she just said that and smiled, not bothered by it in the least. It's probably how she decided to take it. And perhaps out of consideration for me, she didn't tell any of the other villagers and kept coming over as if nothing had happened. I was happy. From that point on, I treasured Shino as a friend and trusted her from the bottom of my heart. Good person, Shino.
ありがとうシノ。
Thank you, Shino.
どうしたの急に。
Where's this coming from?
変な羽生。
Silly Hanyu.
そうですね。
You're right.
少し変かもしれません。
Perhaps I am a little silly. Perhaps putting that into words only made me sound distant instead. Even so, I wanted to let her know I was grateful. For accepting a freak like me as just another woman and being so kind to me.
そうだ。
Oh, that's right.
肝心のものを渡していなかったわね。
Forgot to give you something important. Shino said that, then put some stacked boxes behind her on the tea table. The stack consisted of 3 solid boxes. They're so big that even I could tell from the outside that there must have been a lot of food in them.
はい、これ。
Here you go.
羽生にお裾分け。
Extra ones just for you.
お裾分け？
Extra?
今日の法事でちょっと作りすぎちゃったの。
Yes, I made a little too much for today's memorial service.
羽生好きでしょ？
You like these, right? Shino took the lid off the boxes and showed me what was inside. The box was packed to the brim with rows of sweet mochi. Oh. There were 9 per box layer, making for a total of 27. This is quite a lot for what she claimed to be extra. Shino must have been planning to bring them to me from the start. It was like a treasure box, with what with its sweet smell and the gleam of azuki beans enveloping it.
せっかくだから一緒に食べようと思ってね。
Since I was coming over, I figured we could eat them together.
リクもいれば夕食までの軽い間食にどうかなって思っていたんだけど。
I thought it could be a light snack until dinner if Riku were here, but...
羽生？
Hanyu? Huh? Shino's voice brought me back to my senses. Whoops. It's a close one. So taken by the sweetened mochi that I blacked out there.
どうしましたシノ？
Is something the matter, Shino?
いや、羽生がぼーっとしているようだったから。
No. You're just spacing out, that's all.
いえ、私は別に。
No, I was,
リクの話でしたね。
Right. We were talking about Riku, weren't we?
今日は私用で町の方へ行くとのことでしたので。
He went to town on a personal errand today, you see?
せっかくですからいただきましょうか。
So since he's not here, why don't we just eat without him?
とりあえずその口元のよだれは拭いたら。
How about you wipe that drool from your mouth first? I panicked and roughly wiped my mouth with my sleeves. Perhaps it's some sort of recoil from getting used to Riku's cooking, but lately I found mouth-watering food particularly irresistible. Especially sweets and pastries. I'm completely at their mercy by now. Ah, now that I think about it, those baked sweets I had on the mainland a really long time ago were quite good. That rich sweetness and fluffy texture. Back then, I was only mildly curious, but if it were to be put in front of me right now, I highly doubt I'd stay sane for long. By no means did I hate sweetened mochi, but I never imagined a day would come where I could eat sweets like this, even in this country. or like that, even in this country. Oh, no. It seemed my weakness was polluting my brain.
そういえば
I'm going insane for
ミコは
sweets.
夏に何の用なの？
Incidentally, what's Riku doing in town?
さあ、詳しい内容までは。
I don't know. He didn't give me the details.
なんでも呉服屋によると、
All I know is he was stopping by the tailor shop. Just then, I sensed someone running up the shrine staircase. I don't even need to check to know that it's my beloved. The owner of those footsteps avoided the shrines, loudly threw open the door to the fruitish estate, and dashed into the living room.
噂をすればなんとやら。ね。
Speak of the devil, huh?
そのようですね。
Indeed.
何も走って帰ってくることもないと思いますが。
Though I don't think there was any need for him to come running home.
急いで見せたいものでもあるんじゃない？
Perhaps he wants to show you something.
例えば、羽生に贈り物があって、あなたがどんな反応をするのかとか。
Perhaps he wants to show you something. Like maybe he got a gift for you and wants to see how you'll react or something. Huh? A gift? For me? From Riku? No, I can't think of any sort of reason he'd give me a gift. If I had to say something, it's been exactly 2 years and... Perhaps he brought me something to commemorate that? A present from Riku to mark the 3rd anniversary of our meeting. When I unconsciously imagined that, my heart thumped. Did Riku buy something for me?
あら？羽生？
Oh my, Hanyu.
顔が赤いわよ。
You're blushing.
そんなことはありません。
What? No, I'm not.
照れちゃって。
How precious. You're embarrassed. I could do nothing but keep quiet at Shino's amused teasing. For now, I'll relish Shino's sweetened mochi after I see the gift. I get the feeling it'll taste much better if I wait on that.
あ、そうだ。
Oh, that's right.
もう一人分湯飲みを取ってこないと。
I'll need to get one more teacup. I tried to stand up, but the paper door slammed open with a loud thud. I turned around to find Rico on the other side of the doorway with a triumphant look on his face. In that moment, a chill ran down my spine. I had a very bad feeling. The expectation I'd just been feeling immediately turned into anxiety. No good was ever waiting in the wings when Riku looked that happy. Jesus. Riku's eyes sparkled before he even caught his breath.
羽生、見てください。
Please look at this, Hanyu.
まさに会心の出来の巫女服ができました。
The new Miko outfit is done. Truly a work after my own heart. I knew it. My faint hopes have been completely crushed.
はい。
I'm sorry. What?
ですから巫女服です。
Like I said, it's a Miko outfit.
最高傑作と言っても過言ではないでしょう。
It would be no exaggeration to call it the greatest of its kind.
さあ、着てみてください。
Now go ahead. Please wear it. Beat him up. Destroy him. Time came to a halt. I was frozen in place with my body only half risen to my feet, with Shino equally immobile. Only Rico and his rapid panting were carving time into this still world.
リク、
Riku,
もう一度言ってくれませんか？
could you say that again?
何ができたのですか？
What exactly is done?
はい、何度でも言いましょう。
Of course. I'd be glad to oblige.
素晴らしい出来栄えの巫女服ができたのです。
This magnificently crafted Miko outfit is done.
今度こそ羽生に気に入ってもらえる最高の代物を用意しました。
I had the best one in the world made. I just know you'll love this one. This guy's a freak. I don't like him. Riku then took a kimono out from the wrapping closet he carefully tucked under his arm and showed it to me. It was a work of the devil. Literally. No exaggeration. I'd already given up when it came to the split sleeves that showed off the upper arms. But beyond that, there was a big hole to expose most of the back. What's more, he'd added something absolutely outlandish this time.
今回の巫女服は今の私に考えうる限り最高のものを作ったつもりです。
I believe this is the best Miko outfit I could have ever conceived as I stand now.
今羽生が着ている巫女服を元にしながら袖口を分離させるという構造を発展させまして、今回は下の方も切り離してみました。
I based on the outfit you're currently wearing while building off the split sleeves by giving you a wide open back this time too. What? Riku said that and thrust the Miko outfit he was holding out to me. The red hakama was a little shorter than normal, and no matter how you looked at it or thought about it, the sleeves only went up to the chest. It had been warped beyond recognition from its original form. This was clearly something else altogether, wasn't it, you bastard?
今までの私は甘かった。
I can't believe how naive I've been until now.
巫女の素晴らしさを表現するために女人の美を追求すると言いながら、未だどこかで巫女服として越えてはならない一線があるような気がしていました。
I talked about pursuing the beauty of women to express the wonder of Miko's, yet I still felt there was some line that must not be crossed with Miko outfits.
しかし、それこそが巫女服の進化を阻害する悪臭。
But that was a vice which impeded the evolution of Miko outfits.
物事は変革していくことで新たなる世界を切り開くものであり、巫女服もまたそうであると言えましょう。
New worlds are paved with revolution, and Miko outfits are no different.
なればこそ今の私に作りうる最高の巫女服というのならば、
So the greatest Miko outfit I could create as I was.
今までにない斬新かつ洗練された発想が必要だったのです。
Needed a novel and refined idea.
こいつは
The son of a... My head hurt. Incidentally, Riko only went to town a handful of times a year. That was because of, as Onigafuchi Village's reincarnation of Oshiro-sama, he received all his daily necessities from the village's donations. So he only ever went all the way to town if he was after something he normally couldn't get otherwise. However, even so, he made this rare shopping trip to get that, of all things.
実はこの巫女服は今までの女性服では考えられない挑戦をしています。
Actually, this Miko outfit is something never attempted by women's clothing up until now.
それはお腹。
And that is the stomach!
白衣を胸下までとし、ヒバカマは通常の胸下で留めるのではなく、男性と同じく腰留めにする。
The white robe goes down to the chest, while the red hakama has been made not to tie at the chest but at the waist, just like men.
こうすることで本来日常生活では決して見ることのない
Oh,
お腹という部
brother.
位をあらわにすることができるのです。
By doing so, the stomach, never seen in day-to-day life, can be bared for the world to see.
なおかつ白衣の下半分をなくしたため、ヒバカマの内側には何もなく、左右に開かれた切れ目からは
Furthermore, since the lower half of the white robe is gone, there's nothing on the inner side of the red hakama, so the slits open on both sides are... What happened to shame, Riku? What happened to shame?
ああ、そこに広がるのは
Oh boy.
桃源郷。
Is that Shangri-La I see there?
ほいこら
Hold it right there, you bastard. Come to think of it, I remember what Riku told me when I asked him where he was going in town. The tailor shop. Ah, such an idiot for expecting anything from that stupid jackass. The chills I'd just been feeling vanished, replaced with some sort of boiling heat that flowed through my body and passed into my fists. In other words, the gift was never what I had expected, but was just another goddamn Miko outfit from the very start.
今回は私が手ずから作り上げたわけではありませんが、私と志を同じくする兄弟が丹精込めて作り上げてくれました。
I couldn't make this one on my own, but some like-minded comrades of mine put all their effort into making it.
この間知り合ったばかりですが、とても腕のいい呉服屋さんですよ。
We only became acquainted recently, but they're very talented tailors.
さあ、羽生。これならばきっとあなたでも納得するはず。
Now go on, Hanyu. Even you should have no problem with it.
納得するか
Of course, I have a problem. I think I hear someone knock on my door. 1 second. I'm gonna make sure it's not something important. Okay, I think I'm good. I think it was someone trying to make me join a church or something. I don't know. Of course I have a problem, she says. And he's dead. Oh, that's a good noise. Let me hear that one more time. Very good. I closed the distance between Rico and me in one go and punched him hard. Though I didn't put my full strength into it, didn't exactly show him mercy either. After 2 seconds, Rico flew from the veranda and vanished into a grove of trees. What strength? I swear. What in the world is Riku thinking? I'm glad Shino finds it funny. I'm afraid I'm just as clueless as you are on that. A few minutes had passed since then. After blowing Riku away, Shino and I headed over to the veranda to eat her sweetened mochi. Incidentally, Riku was lying at my feet, still unconscious. But what kind of wife are you to not bring him home? Did I read that right? But what kind of wife are you to not bring him home? Are you even listening to yourself? He should be grateful I even bothered to drag him back this far. Someone's in a bad mood. I snorted in response. Maybe it didn't look like, but this is a fairly large compromise on my part. Truth been told, I've been planning to just leave him like always, but when Shino asked if I was going to help him, I reluctantly dragged Riku out of the grove and brought him here. Honestly, that Riku. What will it take for him to finally get over his Miko outfit obsession? It's true that his love of Miko outfits isn't normal. But I wonder why it was that he never asked me to wear any of them. Ah, now that I think about it, he said that if you ever wore one, you'd destroy the whole illusion of Miko outfits. Something about how you weren't innocent enough, or that your face looked more manly than modest? I take everything back. Why don't we throw him in the river? Shino smiled as a vein nearly burst from her temple. It seemed Riku didn't dare defy her at all because she'd been taking care of him like an older sister since he was a child. So if my scolding didn't do the trick with him, then maybe a whack from Shino would, though I wouldn't exactly be all for that. Anyway, Riku's too abnormal. He just refuses to listen, no matter how many times I say no. Wow, she was ranting there. Or what? Did you touch a cursed Miko outfit in a treasure house and got possessed by the ghost of a woman who's doomed to never wear it? If he were cursed, then maybe we could at least exorcise or purify him. Say that again. If it were a ghost or an apparition, then its structure should be nearly identical to an astral body. Then all I would have to do is break it down molecularly with rune technology, or make it assimilate with something, then cut it down. It's not fair! Astral rune? I raised my voice in unquellable anger and complained to no one in particular. The one I should have directed at was lying at my feet, but he was unconscious, so there was nothing I could do. I continued venting like that for a while until Shino, who'd been half-heartedly playing along with me, suddenly chuckled. What is it, Shino? Say, Hanyu? Did you want a present that badly? No, not really. I tried denying it, but it seemed the truth was written all over my face. As soon as she saw that, Shino patted my head with a smirk.
なんだかんだ言いながら羽生はリクのことが好きなのね。
Despite everything you say, you sure do love Riku, don't you?
だから自分の思うものを買ってきてもらえなくて怒ってるのよね。
That's why you're mad he didn't buy you what you were hoping for, right?
わかるよ、その気持ち。
I know how that feels.
なんですか、やぶから棒に。
Where in the world is this coming from?
どこをどう見ればそうだと言うんです。
How does it seem that way to you at all?
羽生ってばかわいい。
Oh, Hanyu, you're so
う
cute.
ちにお持ち帰りしたいな。
I just want to take you home. Hey! I get that reference.
お
I really was no match for Shino. She always hit the nail right on the head when it came to seeing through me. Figuring any further retorts would be pointless, I reached for a sweetened mochi.
まったく。
Sheesh. I let out a small sigh and took a bite out of one. Huh. Something was different from usual. Normally, eating sweets made me happy the moment I tasted them, but this time... It was poisoned.
ちょっとどうしたの、羽生。
Hanyu, what's wrong? I covered my mouth as I headed into the garden crouched behind a bush. A sudden rush of nausea overwhelmed me. Unable to fight it back, I threw up the contents of my stomach before I even knew what was happening. Oh no.
羽生
Hanyu,
大丈夫、羽生。
are you alright? Shino rubbed my back, but the nausea refused to leave me and I couldn't stop groaning. Then, finally, I stopped throwing up, but the sickening sensation in my stomach stayed, and by the time that sharp, acidic taste filled my mouth, I finally regained enough strength to sit down. What in the world was that? I couldn't help but be baffled by my sudden episode. I didn't understand how it happened. Maybe I was sick. But as Ryun Putus, my immunity was far greater than a human's, so it didn't seem like I could get infected by this world's viruses. And was it some sort of new illness that surpassed Ryun's immunity? Impossible. Is she like... I won't say it. I don't want to spoil it. I mean, if something like that was spreading, the villagers would have been wiped out. Then what could it be?
ねえ、羽生。
Hey, Hanyu! Huh? Just then, Shino spoke in a serious voice. A moment later, she gave a kind smile that seemed to be bursting with joy, and she continued.
あなた、
You're...
赤ちゃんがいるんじゃない？
See, that's what I thought. Having a baby, aren't you? Huh?
だから赤ちゃんよ、赤ちゃん。
I mean, a baby. A baby.
さっきの吐き気、きっとつわりよ。
That nausea must have been morning sickness.
だって羽生が大好物のおはぎを吐いちゃうなんて他に理由が考えられないじゃない。
I can't think of any other reason why you'd throw up one of those sweetened mochi you love so much.
赤ちゃん。
A baby?
そう、リクの赤ちゃん。
That's right, Riku's baby. Oh boy. Shino took my hands and enthusiastically swung them up and down. No way. I was pregnant? Putus had an extremely low birth rate. Moreover, Riku is a human, so even if they were genetically possible, the odds of conceiving a child in a mixed species relationship were astronomically low. At least, that's what I'd believed. And yet, me and Riku's child was growing within me?
本当。
Oh boy. Really?
本当よ、本当。
Really? Really?
すごいじゃない。
Sugoi, ah, this is wonderful.
これで羽生も母親よ。
Now you're going to be a mother too.
私が母親。
I'm going to be a mother? My mind went blank from this utterly unexpected turn of events. In all honesty, I thought I didn't need children. That's not to say I didn't want any, though. I was just as much a woman as any other, and I dreamed of having a child with the man I loved. But I'd already given up from the start. Since Riku and I were different species, that wish was nigh impossible. In fact, Ryunok had also said as much. It was only natural, so I wasn't sad about it or anything.
そう。私はリクがいるだけで十分。
That's right. Just having Riku's enough for me.
これ以上の幸福は望むべくもない。
I shouldn't wish for any further bliss. And yet, I touched my stomach. No change had appeared yet, but our child was there. I was supposed to have given up on it. And yet...
Hanyu?
Hanyu? I couldn't stop crying for joy. Large teardrops cascaded and fell from the corners of my eyes.
よかったね。
How wonderful.
よかったね、Hanyu.
Isn't this wonderful, Hanyu? Yes. Yes. I nodded. My body was naturally trembling. I was so happy I felt like I was soaring above the clouds.
そっか。ついに羽生もお母さんか。
Aha, I see. So you're finally going to be a mother too.
どんな子が生まれてくるのか、今から楽しみね。
I'm looking forward to seeing what kind of child you'll have.
そうですね。
Yes, me too.
一体私とリク、どちらに似た子が生まれるのか。
I wonder if they'll end up looking like me or Riku. Oh, just then, my tears stopped at my own words. Look like us? Hold on, what did I just say? Me and Riku's child. A child with both human and Ryun blood. In other words, with horns just like me. A demon's child. These horns have brought me pain more times than I can even begin to count. When I thought that, my joy completely shattered to pieces and vanished. The delight that had filled my heart was gone without a single trace.
羽生
Hanyu?
どうしたの？
What's wrong? Shino gave me a flabbergasted look when I suddenly stood up, but I was in no state of mind to answer her. I just looked at Riku in terror. I couldn't tell Riku about this, because if I did, he would surely want the child just as I had in my dreams. But if I had the baby, someone would suffer, all because of their appearance, all because they were born with something the humans of this world don't possess. Would it be me, Riku, or the child themselves? The more I thought about it, the dizzier I got from the weight and bitterness of those implications. What should I do? What in the world do I do? There was a fierce thunderstorm in the evening, just as I'd predicted. Rain endlessly echoed from the attic like a constant roar. After what happened, I sent Shino home, doing everything in my power to keep calm. I brought the unconscious Riku into the house, and holed myself up in the ritual storehouse before I even knew what I was doing. If I stayed in the house, I would have had to face Riku once he eventually woke up. That would be painful right now, so I came here to essentially hide until I could at least get my thoughts and feelings sorted out.
私は
I huddled up in a corner of the dark room, as Shino's words kept replaying in my mind. You're pregnant. You're going to have a baby, Hanyu. A baby. Riku's baby. And the baby of me, a horned Ryun. So, if the baby happened to have horns just like me... I unconsciously looked up and noticed a statue of Oishiro-sama ahead of me, blanketed in darkness. Riku's father had it made by the feudal lord's personal religious image maker back at the castle town. After the tragedy, he'd modeled it off of me and turned it into a symbol of worship for the villagers, but it had no horns. Instead, it had a peaceful face brimming with affection, like a mother. On the other hand, I could tell just from looking at it how much of a taboo the humans of this land considered horned demons.
私は
What?
どうすれば
What do I do? How delightful it would be if I had the child. A single life Riku and I had created was right in my belly. Right now, or even now, it was doing everything in its power to live and was growing healthily. I wanted to have the baby, but there was no way I could.
もしこの子供の頭に私と同じ角が生えていたら
What if this child has horns just like me? It's not funny. My heart writhed with fear just imagining it, and I felt like I was going to go crazy. Could I raise them to hide their horns just like me? No, out of the question. It would be too pitiful for that child to be forced to live that way, when they'd done nothing wrong.
それに
Besides, I wasn't just worried about the villagers treating a child with horns coldly. No, this was something far more threatening. and terrifying.
ティトゥスの私と人間が交わった子。
A child of a pure-blooded Putus and a human.
それはグリフィスと呼ぶべき存在になるのではないのか。
Wouldn't you call that a half-blooded Griffiths? I didn't know, but it was impossible. One who assimilated with Ryun who'd imperfectly possessed them was a Griffiths. Then if a child born with the blood of a Putus and human ever came to be, what would you call them? Would they literally be a half-blooded Griffiths? Or would they be a subspecies? Or something completely different altogether? And if they had the potential to lose their sense of reason and become demonified just like a Griffiths, what in the world would I do? This is the the joke in Mean Girls, where the health teacher or PE teacher was like, if you have unprotected sex, you'll have a child and then you'll die or something. You'll go to hell. I forget exactly what the joke is, but this is the realization. They shouldn't have done the deed. Was she just banking on the fact that like everyone in her mind was telling her that she wouldn't get pregnant? It was impossible. A statistical anomaly. Oh, Hanyu. Did you take a health class, sex education in in whatever schooling they had you through? Did that exist? The duty of a Putus was to kill demonified Griffiths. That was how I'd lived up until now. I brought peace to the world by killing demons. Then, was that my duty? To kill? So if the child became demonified, I would have to kill them? Slay, eliminate, murder, kill? Kill?
私がこの手で。
With my own hands, I stared at my hands. Fear unconsciously raced through me, as I could have sworn I saw those hands dyed red. Plop. A drop of water fell on my hand. The rain grew even fiercer, and the wind became a gale, striking the walls of the ritual storehouse over and over. Occasionally, the dark room would be illuminated by a blinding flash of lightning, followed by the sky-splitting boom of thunder. I'm scared. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. I'm scared. Could I ever do something like that? Did I really have to do it? Just considering the possibility made my body shiver all over, without an end in sight. Just then. What are you afraid of? What are you so scared of? You, Ajita, terrified? Why is it that you, said to be the strongest Ryun, tremble in horror so?
No.
What? It was an auditory hallucination, and yet it was a low and detestable voice I'd heard somewhere before. Oh, low and detestable? Simply cursed and resented me as it echoed in my head, sneering at all my fear and pain. Isn't that what you've always done thus far? Oh, you've never questioned it once, right? You believed it was absolute. You believed it was your duty. So, why do you waver? Why do you hesitate? Silence. But even if I covered my ears, even if I covered my eyes, and no matter how I tried to seal off my consciousness, the voice spoke directly to me, offering me the sweetest temptations. Hatefully, mockingly. You've killed us. You've killed us, your brethren, up until now. So many of us. So many comrades. Even though they were your comrades, even though they were your brethren, you killed us. You killed, and kept killing with those hands. So just kill the baby with those hands. Kill it. I shouldn't be laughing. Kill the child. Shut up! Shut up, 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 shut up! How am I wrong? What's the issue? You've killed many of your brethren up until now. I mean, one of them just happened to be your own child. That's all. So kill it. It's just a child. You can just make another one. And then you'll have to kill that one. I said shut up! Kill the child. Kill it. Kill the damned creature. Kill. Kill. Not great. I was assaulted with nausea that turned my stomach inside out the moment I screamed. What should I do? Just what am I supposed to do? I stood up, crestfallen. I dragged my feet over to the entrance and opened the door. I then left the ritual storehouse, going out into the rain. I lost track of how much time had passed after that. I pushed my way through the trees and walked down the dark animal trails. My mind was such a mess that the thought of shifting into my astral form didn't even occur to me, my gaze so narrow I could barely see anything around me. My soaking body was all cut up, and my bare feet were smeared with blood. I'd stopped feeling pain a little while back. I couldn't tell if the wet drops pouring down from my forehead were rain, sweat, or even blood. Finally, I arrived at...
聞こえるか、竜王区。
Can you hear me, Ryunuk? That's right, Onifuchi Swamp. I stood by the bank, drew my sword, and spoke to the charged crystal.
ここに来た理由、お前ならもう察しているのだろう。
Knowing you, you've already guessed why I'm here, right?
羽生
Hanyu.
早速準備をしてくれ。
Make preparations right away.
今から同調を開始する。
I'm about to begin synchronizing.
どうした？
What's wrong?
本当にそれでいいのですか？
Are you really alright with that? Ryunuk sent her thoughts to me in a stiffer voice than normal. I immediately replied in the affirmative, then reached my hand out to the surface of the swamp as always. That's right, I was going to make it, so this child never existed. If I turned it into something that never existed to begin with, then there'd be no need for anyone to feel pain, worry, or fear. So, I came here, resolved that this was the best and only choice.
ハイリュウン、イエアソムールジェダ。
Hi Ryun, Yesamo Jida.
ピティスより
Definitely
同
butchered
胞
that.
たちの査察の任務を受け、この地に下された
My
ジェ
mouth
ダの
doesn't
加
make
盟を
that name.
次し者。
Doesn't form that name. Successor of the Jida name, assigned by the Peters to investigate fellow brethren in this area.
ライノス、竜王区との交信を求める。
I seek contact with Linus Ryunuk. However, even though I performed the usual synchronization chant, I couldn't enter Ryunuk's inner workings in the swamp. Confused, I went through the process over and over again, but nothing changed. Realizing something was off, I called out to the charged crystal again.
どうした？
What's wrong?
早く入れてくれ、竜王区。
Hurry up and let me in already, Ryunuk.
できません羽生
I cannot, Hanyu. Huh? Uh-oh. What did Ryunuk just say? Did she just say she couldn't? But why? She's always faithfully obeyed my orders. No, she shouldn't even possess the ability to defy me to begin with.
どういう意味だ？
What's the meaning of this?
何か問題でもあるのか、竜王区。
Is there some sort of problem, Ryunuk?
それは私のセリフでもあります
That is what I wish to ask you.
羽生あなたの今回の判断には正直賛同することができません
Hanyu, I cannot approve of this decision in all good faith.
子供を下ろすことの意味をあなたはよく理解していないように
Oh
思
boy.
われます
It seems you do not possess a firm understanding of what it means to abort a child.
それにその必要が一体どこにあるというのです
Furthermore, what need even is there to do so?
何を言うか。
What? Are you listening to yourself?
これまでにこの世界のグリフィスが起こした惨劇はお前もよく分かっているはずであろう。
Shouldn't you be well aware of what tragedies the Griffiths have caused in this world so far? A being created from the imperfect fusion of a rune and a human soul, that was a Griffiths. They possessed a major risk of suddenly awakening to their instincts and becoming violent. If the cause of that was the abnormalities in their genes, then there was a great possibility that a child born of a human and Ryun would have the same affliction.
私と人間の子はグリフィスと同様に人間、そしてリュウンの同胞にとって新たな脅威となるかもしれない。
A child born of myself and a human could become a new threat to both human and Ryun brethren alike, much like the Griffiths.
故にその災いの種をここで断つ。
Therefore, I'll nip that disaster in the bud right here now.
それのどこがおかしいのだ。
What's so strange about any of that?
いいえ羽生あなたは嘘を言っています
No, Hanyu, you are lying.
ですから私はその命令を拒絶します
And that is why I reject that order. I gasped when I heard Ryunuk stubbornly deny me for the first time. What's going on? At the very least, I didn't give her the function to decide if I was lying, nor to defy me, so why? And what's more, At the very least, I had a hard time believing she would do something like guess my state of mind when we weren't even synchronized.
嘘だと。
Lying? You say I'm lying?
バカなことを言うな、竜王区。
You're talking nonsense, Renook.
まさか思考回路に異常でもきたしたとでも言うのか。
Could an abnormality have developed in your thought circuits?
私は正常です。
I'm perfectly normal.
むしろあなたの方に違和感があるとあえて言わせていただきます。
If anything, I would have to say you're the one not in the right mind here.
何？
What?
羽生、あなたは逃げています。
Hanyu, you are trying to run away.
母になることからではありません。
Not from being a mother,
他人の運命に責任を持つことからあなたは逃げようとしている。
but from taking responsibility for another's fate.
常に強大な敵に立ち向かい困難な任務を遂行してきたあなたの判断とはとても思えないものです。
I find it hard to believe that you, who always face powerful foes and accomplish difficult missions, would make this sort of decision. I was not expecting, when I decided to read an hour of Higurashi today, that I'd be getting some pseudo pro-life like message story being told to me.
故に私は今回のあなたの判断を否定し拒絶する結論に達しました。
Therefore, I came to the conclusion of denying your decision and rejecting it.
何を言うか。エセ生命体の分際で。
What the hell do you know, you damned imitation of life?
お前の役目は私に従い私の必要に応えることであろうが。
Your duty is to obey me and assist me as necessary.
にもかかわらず造物主に逆らうとはどんな了見だ。
Yet you would have the gall to defy your creator?
私はあなたの身の上の保全、そして幸せの維持を目的に作られました。
I was created with the objective of maintaining your well-being and preserving your happiness.
故にあなたが不幸になると分かっている行為を断じて認めるわけにはいかない。
Therefore, by no means could I possibly approve a course of action that would bring you misery.
あなたには最善の選択をしてもらいたいのです。
I wish to make the best decision for you.
貴様。
Why you? Rage swelled within me as I unconsciously narrowed my eyes and glared at the charged crystal. But I wasn't enraged because Renook was wrong. If anything, it was the other way around. It's because deep down I only wished that were the case.
羽生、冷静になってください。
Hanyu, please compose yourself.
あなたは自らを不幸に追い込んでもそれで平気なのですか？
Will making yourself miserable really bring you peace?
自分のため、自分の大切な人のために生きることこそ最良の選択ではないのですか？
Isn't living for yourself and those dear to you the best decision there is?
そんなこと。
That's... Those words rattled me to the very core. I already knew. Even I knew fully well. Besides, who would ever wish to be unhappy? I didn't need her to tell me what I consider to be true happiness. Even so, I...
それで誰かの不幸を容認しろと。
Then whose misery are you telling me to accept?
自分としての矜持を捨てて自ら最悪を広げる罪業に手を染めよというのか。
Are you saying I should throw away my pride as Ryun and stain my hands in the sin of allowing catastrophe to spread?
ふざけるな。
Screw that!
そんなこと私にできるはずがないだろう。
There's no way in hell I could do that.
なぜ不幸になると決めつけるのですか？
Why do you assume it will lead to misery?
なぜ最悪を広げると言い切れるのですか？
What makes you so sure catastrophe will spread?
その結果は現時点ではどうなるか全くわからないことのはずです。
You should have absolutely no way of knowing that result for certain at this point in time. What?
あなたの予想はあなた自身が勝手に思い描いた幻想、数多くある可能性の中のたった一つの多元的な未来の姿です。
Your prediction is an illusion you came up with on your own, merely one of many possible futures.
それに至る保証はどこにもない。
There's no proof it'll come to pass.
それにとらわれる必要性も全くない。
There's no need whatsoever for you to be swayed by it.
故にあなたは間違っていると私は申し上げているのです。
That is why I can say that you are wrong.
ましてあなたのその選択が竜雲の掟に逆らうものだと誰が決めましたか？
Besides, whoever decided that this decision of yours violates Ryun law.
それこそ勝手なあなたの思い込みであり、あなたが自ら課した枷と檻です。
It's an assumption you concocted by yourself. A shackle and prison that you imposed on yourself.
デューンが定めたものは突き詰めてみればただ一つ。新たな故郷にて先住の人々と共存し、新たな繁栄の歴史を築くこと。
After probing the topic carefully, the Ryun only decided on one thing. To coexist with the natives of their new homeworld and build a new prosperous future.
それのどこにあなたは反しているというのですか？
Tell me, what part of that have you violated exactly?
やめろ
Stop!
やめろやめろやめろ
Stop! Stop, 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 stop! I couldn't help but feel irritated, so I shouted. I screamed loud enough to drown out the roar of the rain.
この子は角を持って生まれてくるかもしれないのだ
This child might be born with horns!
それなのに私と同じ思いを味合わせるのか
Yet you would have me subject them to the same torment as me?
私と同じように苦しみ悩み悲しんでリュウンでも人間でもない存在であることに是非を問わせるのか
To suffer, worry, and grieve just like me, and question what they are if neither Ryun nor human.
そんなむごい仕打ちをお前は我が子にさせられると思ったか
Did you think I could ever submit my child to that cruel destiny?
羽生
Hanyu,
ずっと私は味わってきたのだ
I've suffered from this agony for so long.
ただ角があるそれだけで迫害されることの辛さを
From being persecuted simply because I have horns.
角があれば人間ではないのだ
You're not human if you've got horns.
それを人は鬼と呼ぶ
They call that a demon.
決して同じ交わりにはいられないのだ
One that must never mingle amongst them. That's why I chose to live as a Jita. Yeah, that's right. Truth be told, I'm well aware of what I was seeking by continuing to be a Jita. Since I couldn't live as a human, I wanted a place where I could belong as a Ryun. That was why I took up the sword. That was why I tried to keep my heart balanced by being a transcendent being who protected humans. That was the true reason why I so stubbornly refused to accept the Jita name, lose all meaning within a few years thanks to the decrease in Putus. A vague entity that had neither human nor Ryun. That was me. Why couldn't I be human? Why could I not carry out a life as a Ryun? I lived up until today tormented by that doubt, that paradox. I'm sure I'd still be suffering from it now had I never met Riku. I can never let my own child face that exact same pain.
人間にもなれずリュウンでもあれず私はずっと寂しかった
I was always alone, unable to become a human nor be a Ryun.
どうしようもなく孤独だった
I was always alone, unable to. I already read that. I thought it changed. I was so lonely.
鬼と言われること本当は辛かった
It hurt so much when people called me a demon.
それにリクを我が子を巻き込めと
You had me put Riku and my child through all that.
冗談じゃない
Like hell.
私にそこまで外道になれというのか
Are you saying I need that to be nope. Are you saying I need to be that inhuman?
羽生
Hanyu. Renuk's like, please calm down. Humans are creatures that can only view things in a broad way. If they learn someone is a demon, then they'll consider those close to it demons as well. Riku was in a dangerous position just by being with me. He may have been known as Oshiro-sama's reincarnation, but what would happen if rumors spread that he'd married someone with horns? A demon. Even an adult like me had my horns accidentally revealed to Shino once, so it went without saying the villagers would quickly find out if it was a child. What could become of the child and Riku once that happened? I'm sure we'd completely lose our current peaceful way of life.
並大抵のことではないのだこの世界で我々リュウンが人として生きることは
Us Ryun living as humans in this world. It's not ordinary.
そんな覚悟を重荷を背負わせて子に辛い思いをさせると分かっていながらこの世に放り出すことなど
I
私
can't.
にはできない
I can't just bring a child into this world, knowing I'd be bringing them pain by saddling them with that resignation, with that burden.
できるわけがない
There's no way in hell I can do it.
あなたの子供があなたと同じように生きるとしてもですか？
Even if your child lives the same way as you?
何
What?
私は これまで何度もあなたと同調してきたからこそわかります。
I know because of how many times we synchronized.
あなたは今愛する人の子供を宿したことに幸福を感じている。
Right now, you're thrilled to be pregnant with the child of the man you love.
なのに無理をしている。
Yet you're forcing yourself.
今の幸せよりもあるかもしれない不幸を懸念してそれを受け入れることを恐れている。
You're more concerned with potential misfortune over your current happiness, and you're scared to accept that.
無理などしていない。
I'm not pushing myself.
無理など。
I'm not.
それが無理だというのです。
This is the definition of pushing yourself. I fell into a sorrowful silence. She'd hit the nail on the head so well there was nothing I could say to that. Still, though, just why was Ryunouk standing her ground so hard? And where in the world had she come to learn such assertion and consideration?
確かにあなたは辛い日々を送ってきたかもしれない。
It is true you may have lived a harsh life.
あなたの子供があなたにとっての陸のような存在に出会えるかも定かではない。
There's no guarantee your child will meet someone like Riku was for you.
しかしたった一つだけあなたの時とは違うことがあります。
However, there is one thing that they have that you didn't.
それはあなたと陸、すべてを理解した両親がそばにいるということ。
And that's you and Riku. Parents who understand everything, who will stay beside them. That's right. Just as she says, this child can be born and raised under me and Riku's protection. My parents are already dead before I was old enough to remember them. I didn't have anyone to teach me human principles or to mediate with them. In that sense, this child is far more blessed than I was. And I'm sure people as kind as Shino will help in the future as well. However, even so, I just couldn't accept that lying down. Just as Ryunouk said, my child may live strong and be blessed with good friends and a spouse. But what would they do if that didn't come to pass? That child would likely direct their bitterness and hatred for being born that way at me, their mother, if I were faced with such a hateful expression. If they resentfully cursed me right to my face, I seriously doubt I'd be able to stay sane. Call it cowardice, but even so, I still couldn't face that fear tormenting me, nor could I see any light at the end of that tunnel. So, I resumed the chant to drive away her concerns.
ハイリュウ、休むるジェダ。
Let's try it again. Hyriun, Yosumo, Jida.
ジェダの加盟を継ぎし者として、ライノス、リュウンオークとの交信を求める。
As the successor of the Jida name, I seek contact with Linos Ryunouk.
羽生、
Hanyu,
さっさと開けろ。
open up already.
これはジェダとしての命令だ。
This is an order as a Jida. Oh boy. Ryunouk didn't respond, nor did Onigafuchi Swamp change. Infuriated, I stepped into the swamp. I got on my knees, sunk my hand in the water, and recited the chant again. Just as I thought, no response.
開けてくれ、リュウオーク。
Open up, Ryunouk.
お願い。お願いだから。
Please. Please. I'm begging you. I don't want to hurt anyone. And I'm scared of getting hurt myself. So please, listen to me, Ryunouk. I crouched down over the edge of the swamp, my hair dangling onto the surface amidst the rain. What do? Just what am I supposed to do? Just then...
羽生
Hanyu! I heard a voice. It was a lovely voice, but also the voice I wanted to hear least right now. I looked behind me, saw Riku was indeed there.
リク。
Riku. Riku frantically ran through the rain and into the swamp. I quickly tried to stand up when I saw that, but my body refused to listen to me, and I quickly fell back down. Riku rushed up to me, picked me up with a sad look on his face, and spoke.
やめてください。
Please stop.
何をしているのですか、あなたは。
What do you think you're doing?
離せ、リク。
Let me go, Riku.
私は。
I...
なぜ身を投げる必要があるのですか。
Why do you need to kill yourself? Huh? I instinctively turned around and looked at Riku's face when I heard those unexpected words. Kill myself? His misinterpretation of the situation had me momentarily dumbfounded, but on the other hand, it cooled my head a little. Perhaps it was understandable for him to assume that when I was here in the swamp water all by myself.
違うのですか。
Am I... mistaken?
当たり前です。
Of course.
この私が あなたに黙って死ぬわけがないでしょう。
There's no way I, of all people, would kill myself without saying a word to you.
ではどうしてこんなところに来たのです？
Then why did you come here?
それは
Well... I suddenly looked away and hung my head when Riku asked that. I couldn't tell him. There's no way I could tell him. How could I possibly say I was trying to kill his child? Hanyu. After a brief pause, Riku, who'd been looking at me the whole time, suddenly broke the silence.
おしのさんから話はすべて聞きました。
Shino-san told me everything.
聞いたときは本当に嬉しかった。
When I heard the news, I was truly happy.
ですからあなたの口からそれを聞いて一緒に喜び合おうと思って待っていたのですが、
So I waited for you, figuring we could celebrate together once you told me.
どこを探してもあなたは見当たらなくて、
But I-
それで心配になって。
But I couldn't find you no matter where I looked, so I got worried.
それにしてもあなたはどうしてこんなところに来たのですか？
So tell me, why did you come here?
それは
That's...
私の子を産むことがそんなに嫌でしたか？
Do you really hate the idea of having my child that much?
そんなわけがない。
Of course not. I instinctively raised my voice and looked up. Please, please don't look at me like you're about to burst into tears. Hearing Shino tell me I was pregnant with Riku's child was the happiest moment of my life. A child with Riku, even though I thought I could never conceive. Of course I was happy. There's no way I could hate the idea.
ならばどうしてです？
Then why?
なぜ言ってくれなかったのですか？
Why didn't you tell me?
この子には私の血が入っているからです。
Because this child shares my blood. I shouted while resenting my existence. Riku didn't seem surprised.
驚かないというのならリクも気づいているのですね。
If you're not surprised, that means you realized it too, haven't you?
私とあなたの子ということは私の血を継いで角を持って生まれてくる可能性がある。
There's a chance our child could have horns just like me. And once the village learned of the child's horns, just imagining it made me shiver. There's no way they would ever approve.
だから私はこの子を下ろそうと決めました。
So, I decided to abort this child.
私が鬼が淵沼に来たのはそのためです。
That is why I came to Onigafuchi Swamp.
この沼はリュウンオークと私が同調する場所。
The swamp is where I synchronize with Renuk.
この中ならばこの世界では困難なことも可能となる。
In there, it's possible to do things that are difficult in this world.
だからこの子を
So with that, I can kill our child before it's born. Oof. But I couldn't say any of that, least of all look Riku in the eyes. I knew that no matter what I told him, Riku would not consent. He was too kind, too caring, too accepting, too true to his heart. And he was the one who loved me with all he had. That was Riku Furude, the one I loved more than anyone. But even so, no, because of that, I couldn't waver on my decision. If I truly cared about the child and Riku, then I couldn't back down on this.
この子は生まれてきてもきっと幸せにはなれない。
Even if I have this child, they'll never be able to find happiness.
そしてあなたもせずに済むはずの苦労を背負うことなく悲しみに苛まれることもなくなる。
And you will be saddled with hardships and sorrows you never should have had to bear to begin with.
だから
So I
羽生、
Hanyu.
それは私の存在も否定するということですか？
Does that mean you're denying my existence too? Huh?
あなたが救ってくれたからこそ私はここにいる。
I'm only here right now because you saved my life.
父からはそう伝え聞いております。
My father told me all about it. Everyone's telling fucking Hanyu secrets to him. My mind flashed back to a scene from 22 years ago. The demonified Griffiths, the attacked village, the maelstrom of pandemonium, and fire. I swung my sword amidst all that, cutting down the demons. This was the former Onigafuchi village. Just what was it I did back then? What did I feel when I found that small baby in the wreckage of that house about to collapse?
この先死ぬよりも重い辛苦が待っているだけだろう。
They'll almost certainly live a life so harsh that death would be the preferable option.
それならばいっそのこと
In that case, before it comes to that, I should. And then, what was it I did to that baby? The answer was the man right in front of me who'd made me so happy.
羽生
Hanyu. Just then, Riku gently took my hand into his own, and this is such a weird story. I'm not even gonna lie. I know it's touching, it's whatever, it's the story, we're getting origin, background, I get it. There's so much, if you stop to think about some of these things, you're like, huh, this is kind of, it's kind of weird. Just then, Riku gently took my hand into his own, and
産んでくださいお願いします
please, have the child. Huh? Riku said that to me as a powerful light clearly shone in his gaze.
でも私はあ
But,
なたに余計な重荷を
but I'll just be a burden on you.
私の妻になってくれるというのは嘘だったのですか
Were you lying when you became my wife?
そんなことは
Of course not.
だったら私のことも信用してください
Then please, have faith in me too.
あなたのことを本気で愛してあなたの幸せのためなら全てを受け入れる覚悟はあるつもりです
I truly love you, and I'm prepared to accept everything if it means making you happy. My rock-solid determination crumbled, and the ice closing off my heart slowly melted. That wasn't fair. If he tells me that, I feel like I'm going to take him up on that kindness.
私が出生の秘密を聞かされたのは10の頃でした
I heard the truth of my origins when I was 10.
その時は私もあなたと同じようなことを言いました
Back then, I said the same sort of thing as you.
自分はフルでの人間ではないと
I asked if I was not a member of the Frude family.
しかし父は笑って答えてくれました
But my father smiled and told me this.
お前はフルで陸だたとえ血を継いでおらずとも間違いなく私の息子だと
You are Riku Furude, not Rika. Even if you don't share my blood, you are undeniably my son.
その時父の本当の子供ではないことに苦しんでいた私は救われたのです
At that moment, I was saved from the suffering that was not my father's true son.
だから今度はあなたを救いたい
So, I want to save you this time. I felt a gentle sensation after he said that. Riku embraced my soaking wet body. His arms and chest were unbelievably warm and full of love.
羽生あなたは優しい人だ
Hanyu, you are a kind person.
だから誰も傷つけないようにと子供を下ろすことに決めたのでしょうがそんなことしなくてもいいのです
That's why you decided to abort the child so you wouldn't hurt anyone. But you don't have to do that.
もうあなた一人が傷つく必要はない
You don't need to hurt yourself.
私は何があろうともあなたとあなたの子供を守ります
I will protect you and our child no matter what happens.
その子は生まれていい命なんです
That child is a life who deserves to be born. Riku said that and smiled. He was a life I'd saved 22 years ago, even though I tried to kill him to spare him suffering. And that very same man just told me that our child was a life who deserved to be born. I was happy. My heart was overjoyed. I didn't want to hurt anyone. I didn't want to put the child through a painful life. Nor did I want to cause trouble for Riku. And I was scared of getting hurt myself. But I wanted to have the child. Even though I was determined to abort the child in order to resolve everything, deep down, no matter what anyone told me, I loved the child, and I wanted to have it.
私があなたたちを
Like
守
I
りま
said,
す
didn't expect it to go this way. I will protect the both of
ど
you.
んなことをしてもどんな思いに耐え抜いてでも愛するあなたたちの隣にいます
I love you both, so I'll stay with you, come what may.
だからその子を
So,
産んでくれませんか
would you please have the child? Let's go back to the wacky, zany Miko outfit debate. I cried in Riku's chest. I wept like a child, completely at a loss for words. I forgot that I was a Ryun, that I had horns, all of it. All I felt was the joy that had been having the child of the man I loved, and the warmth of those arms embracing me. I think I'm just laughing because of the whiplash I felt throughout this whole... This arc is giving me just massive whiplash feelings. But I think we're probably going to call it there for reading Higurashi for the day. I only wanted to read one section. And what a section it was. Where is that save? Perfect. Alright, progressing. We'll do one more thing here today. I'll have to boot up the thing, but we'll finish the day with just like a couple hours of Ghostwire Tokyo. Opening or cleansing a lot of gates, I think, is the thing I gotta do. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna throw up the quickest of BRBs. Give me just a few minutes, I'll get that set up, and we will... what time is it? Yeah, just like a couple hours. Maybe an hour and a half. Ghostwire Tokyo. So I'll be back shortly.